Hello, how are you? I have to state this for the record. I think this is the fourth or fifth time I have tried to make this video. I was actually trying to make this video last night and I decided to call it quits when my head actually fell backwards and I fell asleep talking. It was fucking hilarious. So that was my cue, my clue that I needed to go to sleep. So I'm hoping I have much better luck today since I'm more rested and coherent and it appears I can keep my head on top of my shoulders. So I hope all of you are having a great weekend. My weekend started off with a blast, and that's a good thing, a long overdue, highly anticipated blast. And everyone should have a blast like that to start their day, their weekend off, because it makes things so much better. And it's interesting that, when you have the key to make something happen, it's spectacular to sit back and watch and listen. The right key at the right time and the right keyhole can open up a overflow, an avalanche of experiences. And yes, the key came before the overflow. Yes, the key came before the overflow. So if there was any confusion about that, the key came before the overflow. And as was mentioned in a prior episode, the key is the tool to produce the overflow. So what I want to talk about today? Well, today what I want to talk to you about is boredom. I was listening to someone and they were talking to me about how they become bored over time with people, persons in their lives. And the person was speaking with great clarity and great confidence as to this repeated pattern in their life. And I was just listening and listening and listening and really trying to understand what it must be like to be in such a situation. And then I started applying that situation to me as far as, am I boring? And anyone who listens to me or watches these videos, one thing I can say is I'm far from boring. And the reason is that I am flowing and going according to what's around me, who's around me, what's going on. Which is why I say I'm fluid and I'm very dynamic. And I can't imagine being something other than that. Like, how do you get bored with someone? And I have to say, I am bored with 99.8% of people. And the reason why I'm bored with 99.8% of people, because they talk about the same damn shit. They do the same damn shit. They want to be like every motherfucking body else. And I find that just exhausting. So exhausting, because no one is real. No one is honest. No one is raw. No one is primal, primitive, instinctual. They're none of that. Everyone wants to be some form of fashion. I guess they want to be accepted. They want to fit into the group. And a person like me, I don't give a fuck about the group. I run in a league of my own. I do what the fuck I want. I do what I feel. I don't do what I don't want to do. I can't live a life conforming to what other people feel, what they think, what they do. It's just not who I am. So when I sat back and I was listening to this person, I understood what it is like, because I would rather have a conversation by my damn self in my own head than to sit down at a table with a bunch of people and talk about the same stupid ass shit day in and day out. People don't want to be titillated. They don't want to be exhilarated. They don't want to be exposed. They don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want to feel. They don't want to see. They just want to follow the fucking rat race. So yes, I completely agree with that person as far as people are boring. But what this person was specifically speaking about, and I'm inferring, is in regards to an intimate, romantic, sexual basis. The person gets bored. And I'm thinking to myself, because I'm going to scratch. I'm just, I scratch when I think, that's some fucked up shit. That's what comes to my mind. That's some fucked up shit, because if you are a very central sexual person with a strong need and strong desire, and you are involved romantically with someone who is plain vanilla, that becomes very, very frustrating, because initially I believe you hope, you wish that over time you can mold, you can soften and get the person to evolve and become something else. But then you realize you are barking up the wrong motherfucking tree, and it's just fucked up and it's too late. It becomes hard. It becomes very, very hard. So how do you keep yourself from being in a situation with being bored? Being bored. So I'm thinking, you know what? What if it was me? What if the person was with me? Would they be bored? Could they get bored? How would they become bored? And I am so motherfucking ridiculous and just audacious. I don't see it being possible in any way, shape, or form. Any way, shape, or form. Because when I am involving myself with someone, or they are in my life, or I am in their life, I like to go to the darkest recesses of someone's mind, body, heart, and soul. Like when I say I want to know someone, I want to know your ass from the inside out. I want to see and know the shit that even you don't see or know about yourself. I want to know and see the things that most people, they ask you to hide. They don't want you to talk about. They don't want to show. They don't want to get contaminated or dirty with. And that's the thing that I like to involve myself with. So how could you possibly be bored with someone who wants to know you, the full you, the true you, and don't want to change you? You see, if you can embrace all of who you are and what you are, that means you're a very dynamic, complex, multifaceted type of person. And you show different hues of who you are at different times of the day. How can that shit ever be boring? It's only boring when you are not allowed to be the true you, the full you. It's only boring when you're hiding and pretending and catering to others around you because they can't handle the full extent of who you are. I am a handful. And my handful of what I am, it evolves and changes depending on how I feel. I can go from being hilarious to flirtatious to highly arrogant. I mean, highly intellectual. With me, I bring all parts of who I am because that's what makes me me. But that's what also makes me threatening to a lot of people, because they can't do that. They can't handle that. And they definitely can't motherfucking show that. So I'm asking you, how could you ever be bored with someone who is able to process and deal with you to the deepest extent, probably deeper than what you know yourself? How can that ever be bored? Because you don't have to work that fucking hard. All you have to do is be and exist, and you know that you are accepted, respected, embraced fully, loved unconditionally. How can that shit ever get boring? It can't get boring because it's so dynamic and it's so on demand that shit is just, it's popping all the way around. And when I say popping, I don't mean drama and theatrics, unless it's the fun kind. What I'm talking to you about is something where you just get to be you. It's comfortable, it feels good, it's free. That shit doesn't come around very often, and actually it doesn't come around at all, because most people don't know who the fuck they are. So if you have an opportunity to be with someone who wants to know every corner of you, from the darkest to the brightest, how can that shit ever get motherfucking boring? For a person to be able to understand that, withstand that, to handle it, to navigate that shit, that means that person has to be pretty damn good. I would say exceptional. What do you think? To be able to do something like that, where you can just solely look at a person and deal with that. I could say that's not boring. That's not boring at all. Now, let me ask you this. I know you don't consider yourself boring. You pretend to be boring to fit in with everybody else. You and I both know what the fuck is up now, don't you? You're not boring. You're very mischievous, very adventurous, very curious. You like to push boundaries, audacious, very crafty, very skilled. And the list goes on and on and on. So if you're not boring and you think you are the best thing since sliced motherfucking bread, then let me ask you this. What would you do with the female version of yourself? 2 peas in a motherfucking pod. How can that ever be boring? 2 peas in a pod. The male version and the female version. How can that shit ever get boring? If you embrace and know who you are and love yourself, and you have the female counterpart of that shit, that sounds like bliss, comfort, fun. It sounds like home. Where else can you get that shit? Where you understand each other, you vibe off of each other, you can laugh, you can talk, you can do a whole host of things with one another, and that shit is easy, seamless, and flawless. Same sense of humor, same work habits, ethics, values, everything is the same. You say, well, the shit, if it's all the same, it must be boring. That shit is not motherfucking boring. If you got two people who are the life of the party, full of vitality, highly intelligent, how can that shit ever get boring? People who are real, who are raw, who are open, and if you could handle the shit, they'll show you the shit. How can that shit ever be boring? Life is only boring when you're hanging around motherfucking fraud-based pretenders, posers, people who are pretending to be something they're not just to appease everyone else. But if you have someone with you who marches to their own tune, when you have someone with you who basically can change the beat of other motherfuckers around them unbeknownst to them, that shit is very intriguing. Don't you think so? When you are matched with someone who has a presence just as strong as yours, that can cause people to come, that can cause people to stay the fuck away, all by one's presence, you can't get bored of that. And if you bring that shit to the fucking bedroom, how can you get ever bored of that? You can't get bored with that. So I understand that most people that one has encountered has been extremely boring, extremely mundane, extremely routine. But you can't get bored with the right one. Here's another question. How do you get bored with someone who can make you feel and experience shit that you've never ever motherfucking felt or felt to that degree? How could you ever get bored with that? Someone who takes shit to the next motherfucking level, and I mean in a good way. How is that boring? For someone to be filled with so much passion, so much life, so much fucking enthusiasm. How can that be boring? That shit is intoxicating. It's intoxicating. That gives life. That shaves years off your life. So how can you ever expect that someone who can do all those different things to you in a short period of time from a motherfucking distance is boring? What you should be worried about is what that person will do to you up close, personal, on a consistent, regular basis. That's what you should be concerned about. Because if you feel like you're 30 now, by the time he or she's done with you, your ass will be 18 again. You will be feeling like a goddamn 18-year-old. Then what are you going to do? Because no one's ever done that shit before. You think someone's going to do it again? No. You got to be the magic person to make that happen. You got to be Magic Sheba to make that happen. And how many of those do you think exist? I'll answer for you. There's only one. And up until now, there's been none. But none has been replaced by one. So what makes you think, why aren't you convinced that there's no boredom? There's no boredom. You cannot be bored with someone who is unlike anybody else in so many ways, on so many days. It's not easy to get through to very calculated, cold, hard people. And if you got someone who's been able to get through your fortification, do you know what the fuck you're dealing with? Do you know who you're dealing with? As I said, do you know what the fuck is up? You do know, but you pretend not to know. But you do know, don't you? That is something that is spellbinding. It's mysterious. It's mystical. You cannot shy away from that. So you think all this is what? A play? Some front, some stage? No, what you see is what you get. What you get is what you see. There's no games. There's no trickery. There's no fraud. There's no pretending. This is what it is. This is what it will always be, because this is the connection. This is the dynamic. This is how it was made. This is how it is. And I know on some level, you guys understand that. But you need to go from understanding to believing. What it is today is how it is written and how it will always be. And I understand that this concept is foreign, it's different, it's unfathomable, because it hasn't been the case with anyone or anything else. But you have to understand how things work with twins. It's different. How they come together is different. How they interact is different. How they engage is different. It's all different. So if you are trying to apply or peanut butter spread what you have seen or known in the past to this, there's no comparison. It's different. It's a 180 from everything you have seen, you have known. It is not the same. It cannot be replicated. It will never happen again with anybody else. You already trust the dynamic. You already trust the connection. But your brain is fucking pussyfooting and messing things up by you trying to understand, how is this the case? How can this be? How is this like this? When you're dealing with you, this is how it is. When things align by so much in so many ways, you have to start to understand and see that this is not like anything else. It will never be like anything else. It can't. The desire, the passion will not decrease. The comfort, security will not decrease. The trust, the reliability will not decrease. The acrobatics will not decrease. None of it will decrease. This is what it is. It is unlike any other dynamic connection relationship that ever seen. This is the ultimate. This is the beyond. This is what people hope and dream for. There is nothing else like it. Which is why you ask, how did we get here? We got here because we're supposed to be here. But this is not our final destination. Don't get it twisted. This is not the final destination. All this third party fucking communicating, this is not this is a stopgap motherfucking arrangement. This is stopgap. This is not the final destination. And you know that to be true too. So you wonder if you're going to get bored. You're not wondering. You're scared of getting bored. Because you don't want to lose what you have found. And you're worried if you indulge too much, it will fizzle out. It will fade away. It will erode. How I read you so well. I have some wonderful news to share. This isn't like anything else. With everything else, it gets routine, it gets ordinary, it gets eroded, it starts grinding and shaving away. With this, it gets better. It gets really, really better as time goes on and the connection strengthens more and more and more. This is the type of situation that gets better over time. So if you were worrying about exhausting the resources tied to this, you were rationing things out for yourself because one, you're scared that you will get used to it. It will lose its effectiveness. It will it will become scarce. No, I told you before, there's no rationing. There's no deprivation. There's no compromising. This is unlimited. It is infinite and it gets better and better and better. So if you think or you know and you believe that you're hooked now, you need to understand the power of what the fuck you're dealing with. Because that obsession, that infatuation, that's going to grow. It's going to grow whether you indulge or not. Listen to what the fuck I said. You can't run. You can't hide. The other one can't run. The other one can't hide. You can't stay away from one another. Whether you indulge or not, it's there, the connection. It's growing stronger and stronger. So if you think by being gracious, by being a martyr, that is going to help sustain this for the rest of your life, what I'm saying is you don't have to work that hard. You don't have to work that hard at all. It increases. Everything is meant to increase, not decrease. Increase. It will not run out. It will not run away. It will not become mundane and dull. It will not become boring. That's not how this works. That's not how this is made. That is not how this is designed. It's not at all. And I know on some level you understand this to be true. You know it to be true, but you needed to hear it. You don't have to get worried about getting bored. Not possible. Not possible at all. Because if one can hold your goddamn interest for this long without laying too many fingers on you, what the fuck you think is going to happen as things progress? Sky is the limit. You said no limits. You said next level. You said the ultimate. That's what this is. There is no rationing. There is no deprivation. There is no scarcity. There is no boredom. There's none of that. This is pure bliss, fulfillment, comfort, love, security, laughter, fun, adventure, exploration, any and everything that you have been seeking or wanting, desiring, hoping, wishing, praying. That is what this is, delivered in one goddamn package. There's no boredom. This is supposed to be an example to all of what a real connection and real relationship looks like. You want to know what the point is? You want to know what the purpose is? You ask the question, what is this and why? What this is by design. Beyond the obvious. What this is an example to all of what it's supposed to be like. Unconditional. Love, support, respect, adoration, passion, compassion. It's an example for everybody else. So if you've been trying to figure out what is the purpose, what is the point, the purpose and the point is of a divine nature. That is why it impacts you so much. That is why things are so harmonious and fit well. because it is supposed to show people what relationships are really supposed to be like. And we should not settle for anything that is not like that. Now, what do you think about that? Huh? Here's something else that may convince you. Up until now, you have been around the block, been around several blocks and many goddamn states. Yes, several blocks and many damn states you have been around. And you've never fully been able to unleash or show who or what you are because it's too much. One way or another, it's too much. But then one fine day, you meet one who says, no, motherfucker, no, 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 no. What you're showing me is not real. I see something else. I see someone else. And I want that person. That is the true you. That is the real you. That is the son of a bitch that I want to see. 100% full proof. Bring it here. Bring it now. Bring it raw. Bring it. Who's ever said that to you? I know some have hinted, some have tried, some have attempted. But at the end of the day, the beast was too much for them now, wasn't it? Yeah. And then you felt bad. You feel bad for being too much. No, we don't feel bad for being too much. We celebrate being too much. Because guess what? I'm too much too. I'm too much too. And a lot of people think, I can't deal with you. You can't deal with me because you're not supposed to deal with me because I am not for you. The one I am for, it's the best fit. So today is the day where now you see and realize there's no longer too much. It's just right. It's just right. And when it's just right, you don't have to work that motherfucking hard. All you have to do is fucking breathe and exist. What do you think about that? How can you if you don't get bored with yourself and you have someone who wants the real beast in you, who you are, that shit is never boring. It was only boring for the fraud and fucking perpetrators, which is why you were watered the fuck down. But now, you're still a little bit watered down. I'm going to change that shit though. No. We are going to unleash that fucking beast completely because that's where the fun begins. And you don't need to be worried. It's your beast, which means you know how to be it, how to manage it, how to navigate life with it. People just made you think that it was wrong, it was untamed, too real, too raw, and made you question and doubt yourself because they couldn't handle it. But you know exactly what to do. You know exactly how to manage those reins, and you should do that because that is when the real fun begins. That's when life begins. That's where it begins. And you need to accept that. Too much is no longer in your vocabulary. Too less is no longer in your vocabulary. Everything you have is everything you need. Everything you have is everything you deserve. And you need to accept that. Accept it. You don't have to worry about boredom. Wipe that shit off the slate. You don't have to worry about running out because it is unlimited. It is infinite. Question is, can you keep the fuck up? But I think you can. I know you can. And that's where the fun begins. 2 peas in a pod. That is unfucking believable and a whole host of fun. You got 2 people who do not act their age, who are young in heart, mind, body, and soul. Where you find that? You don't have to act your age. You just have to be who the fuck you are. Because unbeknownst to you, I'm not like my age. Why be that? I'd rather be me. Do what the fuck I want, when I want, how I want it. Isn't that fun? That's the best. That is the best, where you don't have to look over your shoulder and wonder and wander. You just get to be you, and that's just what it is. I say that's the best part. Now, I want to keep going about being bored. You need someone who understands the true value of people, places, and things, who can appreciate it, who can fully appreciate you. You see, when you are priceless, when you are a treasure, and someone sees that you're priceless and a treasure, you don't have to work that hard. What that means is you don't have to work that hard to keep someone entertained. Your sheer mere presence is fulfilling beyond belief. Whether you are asleep or you're asleep or you're awake, you're fulfilling. You don't have to keep doing more like a motherfucking magician or alchemist. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is be present, asleep or awake, and you bring unbelievable happiness to one by being in their presence. If you look at that from the grand scheme of things, you're not doing much, but you're doing the most. Listen to what I said. Your sheer presence is not a lot to most, if not all people. But for the right one or ones, that small action is the ultimate gift, the greatest gift, the most fulfilling gift that you can give to a person. So anything you do above and beyond being present, asleep or awake, that is, it's just spectacular. I can't come up with the words. So if you have run into situations where you can't do enough or it's not good enough, what I'm trying to tell you is, with the right situation and the person, all you got to do is show the fuck up, asleep or awake. And the person's beyond satisfied, fulfilled, complete. And if you blow a kiss, firecrackers bouncing off the fucking walls. You do the math on that shit. Just by being present is the ultimate, unbelievable gift. And anything you do above and beyond that is even more appreciated. What would you say about that? I would say life is not boring at all. When you don't have to work that fucking hard and anything you do is like sprinkles or fucking whipped cream on top, I would say that's the best thing of all. What do you think? Let me tell you something, which you may suspect, but you haven't really formulated it into a thought. You wonder, we all wonder, what do people want from us? What do you want? Everybody wants something from someone, now don't they? The question is what it is. What is it? Is it available? And are you going to give it? And some of those questions remain to be seen. And that is why one hopes, wishes, prays for, meditates on things to come to fruition, to manifestation. But I'm going to tell you directly what is wanted. You see, when someone finds you fulfilling beyond anything and everything except one's children, all one wants from you is to wake up beside you, go to sleep beside you, and have you come home directly to them. It doesn't seem like much now, does it? But you don't understand the gravity, the sheer enormity of those simple tasks and what it means to the right one. Wake up, go to sleep next to, and have you come home directly to them. That's all you have to do. That means anything you do above and beyond that is gravy on top. And you're saying, well, what about all the other stuff that comes with it? What about all the other stuff that comes along? Oh, you don't have to worry about that shit. Because the right person, they can orchestrate the rest of that. You're thinking, orchestrate? Yes. The right person who knows what they're doing, the right person who is unlike any other person, they know what to do to produce love, compassion, respect, passion, desire, safety, security, nurturing. That's what that person does best. All you got to do is show the fuck up. Go to sleep to, wake up next to, and come home to. And everything else will be delivered. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Sounds fucking awesome and spectacular, doesn't it? Because that's how it's supposed to work. There's no working hard. There's no working overtime. There's no, where is it? Want more? No, 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 no. When you are the priceless ultimate treasure, you're the only thing that matters. It's overwhelming, that thought, huh? Something so simple, so true, it's very overwhelming because it's the truth. And you know it's the truth. And it blows your goddamn mind to hear it. But it's true. And you can't understand for the life of you why that has never been the case before. Why? Because I'm the only one that is supposed to say it. I'm the only one that can say it. I'm the only one that is true for. It's not true for anybody else. Quality time. Your time is what is sought, what is needed. You and your time. And you know it's true. But I thought you should know, really know, what it is that one hopes for, one longs for, one prays for, one wishes for, one meditates for. Will it happen? Who knows? Who knows? Only you know that. It is what it is. But you should know that is the case. And I'm going to say this one more time. You want to know what is wanted from you. One wants your quality time. One wants to wake up next to you, go to sleep next to you, and have you come home to her, and only her. That's it. You deliver that, she would deliver everything else you need, you want, you hope, you wish for, and you don't even know you need or want. That's the equation. That's the yin and yang. That's the male and female, masculine and feminine. That's all that needs to be done. And don't you even try to question to say, that's not real, that's idealistic, it's not true. That's bullshit. It's true for this. It's not true for every other circumstances, but it's true for this, and you know that shit. So I'm going to scratch that thought from your mind. But I thought you should know that. And it's something that you can think about. One can't predict the future. And one is not going to pressure. But you should know with great clarity what the fuck is up. So, do you get bored? Can you get bored? When you got the right key to the right treasure chest, and in that treasure chest, it's a black hole meaning a space where it's infinite, there's no end to it. What's in that treasure chest is everything you want, you need, you hope, you desire. Passion, fun, thrill, reliability, respect, appreciation, adoration, submission, everything you want is in that treasure chest. And you know that. And you know what's so funny? When the key was quote unquote accidentally placed into the keyhole, quote unquote accidentally, it was a marvel for you to see that OMG, what the hell was said before was actually true. It blew your motherfucking mind to realize, oh my God, I did this. This is what happened. It was true. One wasn't exaggerating when they said, the key, the keyhole, what's there. It was all true. Hell yeah, it was all true. Because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm so goddamn intriguing. And there's so many facets to me. How can one ever doubt or imagine that one can get bored with me? Do you know who the fuck I am? You have no idea. And that is the fun. I don't know what the hell is coming out of my mouth one minute to the next. And that's what makes it fun. Because if it's always done with love, respect, appreciation, I'm just bubbles of fun. Bubbles of fun. Bubbles of calm, bubbles of reliability. I'm just everything and more. That's the advantage of being fluid. But back to what I was saying. When the overflow happened, when the treasure chest flew open, when that overflow happened, I don't think one has ever experienced an overflow of that nature, of that type. I know it's been witnessed before, but something tells me the ordeal was beyond what one imagined or fantasized. It was something that was just shocking, pleasantly shocking, and it was thrilling at the same time. And it was just, you imagined it, but to see it in real life, you were like, what the fuck was that? And OMG, how can I create this situation again? Well, I already told you how you create the situation again. If you learn me or the right person really well, you learn them inside and out, you can start plugging in different variables to get a different output. That's the magic of being fluid. For example, with me, if you can understand me and how I am, and you know that I'm dynamic and fluid, if you study me well enough, you can produce the outcome that you're seeking. You want funny, you do certain things, you get funny from me. You want shy, submissive, surrendering, you can get that from me. You want bold, audacious, confident, you can get that from me. If you want an alluring sex kitten, you can get that from me. Tell me what person you can get all that shit from. Who's sane? I don't have multiple personality disorder. I'm just a very dynamic, animated, fluid person. When you're balanced within yourself, you can pivot and move and adjust to different situations. So if one thinks that you can get bored with a woman like me, you don't understand the fucking she beast that you're working with. Yes, I'm a motherfucking she beast. And the weird thing is, you're creating this fucking she beast. I didn't know she was there. I didn't know she existed. But she is the counterpart to the beast. And the magic with me, I am very predictable. But I'm predictable with unpredictability, which means what you want, you can get from me. Whether it be you glance at me the right way, I'll submit, I'll surrender. I'm a goddamn beast, and I am not tamed. No one could tame me until now. So when I said I don't recognize myself, or you may not recognize yourself, it's because it's true. I've changed, and I fucking love it. And that is the type of people we want in our lives, where people can help us become better people, happier people, healthier people, balanced people, aware people. We want people in our lives who can help us be the best that we can be. We don't want people chipping away at us, muting us, hindering us, thwarting us, towering over us, being disrespectful and unappreciative. We don't want that shit. We want someone who's going to make us feel priceless, like a treasure. That's what we should have and strive for. So if you've been bored before, I understand. And if you have a clock ticking to see if the boredom's going to occur after a certain time period, I understand that's happened in the past. That shit doesn't happen with me. No, I get better. I get better with time. I get better with time. You need to understand that. So if you thought that if you can prolong and string it along and ration, that you can make this last for the rest of your life, you don't have to work that hard. There's more to this than you could ever know. There's more to this you could ever imagine. It's pure abundance of everything you need, want, hope, and desire. You don't have to ration, indulge, overeat. You deserve it. That's why it's here. If you're worried after a certain amount of time that things get routine, mundane, no, things only get routine and mundane when you can't be your true self. When you have to lock part of yourself away and you have to operate within these confines. What I'm telling you, there's no confines. It's the wild, wild west. There's no perimeters. There's no barriers. It is open frontier. That's what it is with us. There's no shackles. Free to roam and be who you are. You found someone who could step toe to toe with you, in line, in step. Not trying to overstep you. Who's ready, willing, able to step next to you. More than likely follow your lead and let you do what you do best. There's no more restrictions. There's no more barriers. There's no more sacrifice. There's no more compromise. There's no more give me more. There's no more working that hard. There's no more thinking that hard. There's no more trying that hard. It just is. It just flows. It goes very smoothly. There's no more not enough. There's no more why not, how come. No, you need to understand that. It's limitless, it's boundless, it's open frontier. You want to know, can you do anything? You got your answer. Yes. So if you can do anything you want as you please, and you know that you're not boring, you're very adventurous, creative, how can you ever get bored with someone who's ready, willing, and able to do their part, to be their part, to play their role, to follow your lead, to indulge and enjoy, who can also step toe to toe in line with you? Stop rationing yourself. Stop depriving yourself. Stop worrying that after 2 years, this is what's going to appear. After 5 years, I get bored. No, 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 no. Hell, motherfucker, no. You don't understand what the fuck you're dealing with. Not with me. I'm not boring. And for most, I am too much. For you, I am perfect. Did you hear what I said? Perfect. You got some shit to teach me. I got some shit to teach you. All I'm asking of you, stop depriving yourself. Stop holding back. Stop worrying. Stop wondering. This is infinite. This is by design. This is how it's supposed to be. There's no timeline. There's no markers. There's none of that. This is a time of harvest. You've earned it. How many more motherfucking years do you think you need to put in to earn your harvest? This is your harvest time, which means you indulge, you overenjoy. You can never ask for too much. What I'm telling you is you're asking for too less. You're taking too less. You need more. You must have more. And you must come get more, because that is why it's here. Take. Take as much as you want, as often as you want, when you need it, when you want it, when you think you don't need it, when you think you don't want it. It is limitless. So if you have any questions, you come find me. But I think you understand what I'm saying. There's no test that you can come up with that will help you see or prove. You already know this to be true. There's no boring. There's no deadline. There's no timeline. There's no switch. There's no mask. There's no pretending. There's no facade. What you see is what it is. What you see is what the fuck you get. And if you like what you saw, as far as the overflow, that's just the beginning. I felt the amusement. I saw the intrigue. And I saw the mind calculating, how in the fuck do I recreate that again? Because you haven't seen that in a while. And you've never seen it like that before, now have you? How I know? Because I felt it. It was astounding. I'm full of intrigue. I'm full of surprises. That's just my nature. And my nature will never change until I'm dead. So if you understand that one's nature is intriguing, you understand one's nature is animated, full of life and astounding, how can you get bored with a goddamn she-beast, she-devil? It's not possible. Especially when she's the second pea in the pod. So, I hope you've enjoyed my rambling. I hope I've made some goddamn sense. But I trust and believe that this is much better than what I attempted to do yesterday, because I was so damn tired. I was happy and tired. Thanks to a special situation. And if I can have my weekend set up like that every goddamn week, I would be one happy little girl, because that makes my weekend go so much better. Nothing phases me. Nothing phases me. When you've been set the fuck up to have a great weekend like that, you have a blast in your weekend, that is the best thing in the world. One of the most priceless gifts that one can receive. Thank you. Words cannot describe my appreciation, my gratitude, my awe. Thank you. Thank you. So, until the next time.